Hello, everyone, and welcome to Moonride. I'm just going to do this channel to see really, I'm kind of hoping we get some justice out of this experience, right? Um, I hope it's not vindictive of me, but I kind of just want some justice, okay? I want us to all feel vindicated. And in this lifetime, instead of another one, I want us to see if we get justice. And of course, I'm speaking about Trump and lots of people around him. Lots of jail cells, that's what I'm seeing. There are a lot of people who will go to jail. It's funny, the first person who shows up is Alex Azar. Not the first person on my list of jail, but I'm not that familiar with this person. I've only seen an interview with him once. So I wonder why he's shown up here. He's just giving me a tour. I mean, look, it's like a whole prison ward of people. I feel like we're really going to get some justice. Okay, I'm going to try to clear my mind here. Don't want any prejudices. So just tell me who. Ivanka Trump shows up. Interesting, she's wearing black as if she were at a funeral. And she's got a veil as if she were at a funeral. And I've seen her like this before. She's holding a tin cup like a beggar. I think that one of the key moments here is that economically these people will be very much punished. I don't think that Trump will survive economically, nor will members of his family. That is, they'll lose a lot. I would kind of expect that they'll kind of be ground down to middle class, and that will be that. And also socially reviled. If imagine that Trump family goes back to New York City, imagine them walking down the street and the kind of looks they'll get, and people will say things to them. And I'm not encouraging this or anything, but you know they won't be able to go to a party anymore. Right now, that might seem like a not a very great, not a very severe sentence, but imagine going the rest of your life as being reviled, like considering changing your name because you don't want anybody to know who you are. Um, you know, Imagine if you're considering having an operation so you can change the way your face looks so people don't recognize you because it's unbearable. And you're recognized everywhere you go, everywhere in the country, everywhere in the world. People have things to say to you. Okay. Corey Lewandowski, big trouble. Big, big trouble. He's really angry. Difficult trial. He didn't think he would lose, but he does. He goes to jail. And I'm getting like severe jail, federal prison, 5 to 7, something like that. I do get Barr in jail. I've often seen him in jail, but I get him really weeping in jail. Like it breaks him. And I do. I have seen Trump in jail before. I think he really will go to prison. Okay, who else? Oh, that's why Trump moved to Florida. Is because if he goes to jail in Florida, if he goes to trial, he'll have more sympathetic jurors in Florida than New York. At least that's what he thinks. Now, give it 6 months, we'll see how much sympathy he gets in Florida, along with the governor. Let's see who else comes up. Look, you know, a lot of these people who are ending the lockdown, a lot of those governors are in some very serious trouble. They look like they're on manslaughter charges. And again, even if they make it, even if they beat the rap, because it's a bit of a tricky rap, even if they beat the rap, they're not able to find a new job with any, they're going to be really not sought after people. Nobody's going to want to touch them. So nobody's just going to give them this big cushy job. They're going to, keep them as far away as possible. Friends won't call anymore. Nobody wants to have any association with some of these people. Hmm. Yeah, I don't mean to be vindictive here, but understand that part of this virus, it's just showing people what the risks are of following nonsense, following conspiracy theories, believing everything that you hear from, Fox News. Understand these people are, this virus is really gonna, it's really gonna bring the point home. Now, it's going to be difficult to find jurors who are not biased. That doesn't mean law stops. You still have to, prosecute. One thing is is Bill Barr. There's a lot of things on him. A lot of things that he did wrong. A lot of things that he tried to suppress. A lot of things he did that are illegal. As many as Trump did. And there's less sympathy for Barr among the population. There are a few holdouts for Trump. Trump will not be convicted of everything. There's going to be a couple of holdout jurors in some of the trials, but he will be convicted of something, and it won't matter. He's not going to live that much longer. So I get most of the time he is in prison, maybe 7 to 10 years. And a lot of humiliation and humiliating trials. Susan Collins is done. She's not doing any time, but she's done. She's leaving. And again, it's not just the punishment of leaving, it's the shame. She actually is capable of feeling ashamed. And I do get Kavanaugh has overplayed his hand. Kavanaugh does something that's just a little bit too much. And so he doesn't seem to be doing well. Yeah, it might be that he's already having personal problems. Yeah, he already feels like the women around him don't trust him. And that is wife and mother too. They don't trust him. They don't really believe him. And he can sense it. So there is something that they don't like around about him. So do we need to know anybody else? Hmm. Anybody else? Anything more that we want to know? Spirit. Just again, it's not it's don't come at this from a point of view of being vindictive. Come to this the point of view that kind of universe has taken care of it, and that doesn't mean we need to be passive in the election or anything else. But universe will take care of a lot of justice on this earth. It might be that some people don't meet justice on this earth; they make it through this lifetime, but there's still the next lifetime. And some of these people are just going to come back as a cockroach. It just really a question of accepting enough justice such that we feel like we are vindicated and we feel like the truth has been revealed, the truth will come out. Realize that if everything that I have said is wrong, history will let us know. History will show the truth of what these people did. So if it's only social, it might just be that. It might just be a social experience that these people have. I feel like what I've seen is true. But just imagine after the election, I just don't see Trump winning. After this, there will be this sort of social understanding of what happened and what went wrong. That is already being experienced by the Republicans in the Senate and the House. They are already getting the message that the people blame them for these deaths and that they have to carry this shame with them all of their lives. Even if somebody doesn't say it, it's like the look in the eye of a person that's in the elevator with you, the look of just disgust at you. People will say things to them. They'll go to a dinner party and people will say things to them and humiliate them. They won't be able to show their faces. And that is, for a person in power, that is a huge blow. So understand that these people really will, even if we don't see it, their souls will be paying the price. One positive note I'd like to put here is, don't forget your own immortal soul, right? As we're going through this, do your best. How would you like to be remembered? When somebody asks you what you do, you tell them, look, I did my best. And it's okay if you made a mistake. Just tell them like, hey, I made some mistakes, but, I tried, I voted, I did what I could, I still cared for my fellow humans. And keep in mind that we all go through lives with these tests. And, we sometimes fail, and then we learn and we do better the next time around. You might learn better even by failing a test than by passing. But keep in mind that, it is important to understand the meaning of your soul and the sort of consequences of your actions, especially as they're linked to your intention. You might intend to have something happen and it doesn't work out. That is a mistake, and you can't control everything in the universe. So, that's one thing. What are your intentions? And if nothing else, let these people be an example for you of how you don't want to be in the world. You want to be, a person who, you fill in the blanks. And it might be one of those things where you even ask yourself, I want to be X. And if you've led a life where you've got some regrets, okay, now's the chance to change. And when you change them, when you change these rules, start to give away the guilt. That's not doing you any good. Right? If you've learned something, you learned it, and then you're motivated to move on. Hanging on to the guilt of something that you did in the past, it's not motivating you to help in the future, is it? So is it really good for you? It's only good for you if it's motivating, right? I'm not going to make that mistake again. But once you've done that, accept that. One thing that's also really happening is everybody is just being given a moment to think and to step back and feel and say, what is the meaning of this, whatever I'm doing, the relationship, the house, what is the meaning of all of these things? How can I show up in a best way and accept that I might make mistakes when I'm doing that? How can I show up? Remember, it is largely about your intention as opposed to the outcome, because things change. You just can't control them. It's about your intention. So you might step back, and if you've got a little time, and also write an intention or two. I'd like to be nicer to person X. And you don't have to do that, okay? Maybe you really don't want to talk to person X. They drive you crazy and they're just going to inject more problems into your life. Maybe that's not what you don't have to go make the rapprochement. That might not be reasonable. But maybe quietly you can send them love without talking. You can send them a prayer without talking. You can focus on an object like a rose and give your love to the rose in that person's name. Obviously, if you can, and it seems reasonable to try to work out some relationships, that would be a great thing to do, especially if now in this crazy world we actually have the ability to write a letter. I don't know if there's a post office from which you can send it yet, but sometimes you just write a letter to that person and never send it. It's just a way of putting your feelings on a paper so that you can kind of understand them and to some degree let them go. It might be useful every morning to get up and, if you can do some positive imaging, that's great. But also just to go, what's one small thing that I can do today? I'm going to, help my neighbor. I'm going to donate to a food bank. I'm going to talk to somebody who I think, could use my help. Just do one small little thing every day. In a world where we're somewhat helpless, what can you do? And that's all universe wants, just for you to do what you can. All right. So we're gonna go in peace. Do your best, and don't forget to forgive yourself and pat yourself on the back when you're doing a good job. Right. This is a difficult time. Thanks for watching.